Cindy said she ready. Y'all see the meat coats in the front? It's the meat coats. You don't fight this shit. You don't rub this shit. That's not like this shit. That's that Detroit shit. That's that Detroit plan. You don't rub that shit. Fuck that shit. Hey, y'all know mine longer than everybody.
It's a bracket.
I said mine longer than everybody. You got the fur and you leaning back?
To truly get a grasp as to who we are here at Jeptha Creek, we're going to go to the beginning of our story, which really starts with Joyce Nethery. Joyce is the mother of the family that owns us and our master distiller.
Okay.
Joyce has a master's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Louisville, so she's a pretty smart lady. But after she graduated college, she went on to work in chemical distillation for over a decade, but needed more free time with her two kids, Autumn and Hunter. So she decided that instead she would become a high school chemistry and physics teacher. Between the time that passed working in distilling and teaching was about 20 years. So in the meantime, her husband Bruce had started several businesses here in town. None of them relate to one another. So it's a diverse portfolio. He needed a little bit of assistance keeping everything together. He brings in Joyce, makes her the chief financial officer. Now that they are working together, they are seeing each other more often. For a lot of couples, that probably wouldn't go too well. But for these two, it leads to Bruce relentlessly bringing up opening a distillery. Only so Joyce could shoot it down every single time. They had a lot going on. They were raising two kids, running several businesses. They were also trying to maintain Bruce's 1,200-acre family farm that's been passed down for over 5 generations. So there's a lot of pressure attached to that. But thanks to Bruce's persistence, here we are. So they pack up this bloody bushel corn, they get on the road, head all the way to Wisconsin to a distillery called Death's Door.
Seems apropos.
Yeah, it seems very fitting, right? They arrive to a shipment of rye, wheat, and barley. And typically, just barley gets malted to make bourbon. But for some reason, wherever the grains came from at the time, that place decided it'd be an awesome idea to malt the rye and the wheat as well. So they came all this way. Their order's wrong. They don't have time to wait for another one. So they wing it. Joyce starts to experiment, and experiment 1 is a high malted wheat mash bill. She goes to taste it. She absolutely loves it. She's like, throw in the towel, that's it, that's perfect, that's the one. Bruce hates it. So she tries her next experiment, which is a high malted rye. And believe it or not, Bruce loves it. She hates it. Needless to say, that's how we ended up with a 4-grain mash bill. However, in this story, everyone wins because they brought back all 3 recipes. They brought the 4-grain recipe, the high malted wheat she liked, and the high malted rye he liked. They come back, start distilling. We fill our first barrel in August of 2016. Open to the public, Veterans Day of 2016. Yeah. All right, thumb out.
Oh, you use a Chemex.
Yeah.
That's my pour over.
Tuna.
Perfect. All right, you can just let that hang out. part wasn't intentional. It's just kind of how it worked. But we roll with the punches. And now every year on the 4th of July and every Veterans Day, we fill a barrel with red, white, and blue corn bourbon. Let one of those barrels sit at the front of this very barrel barn, and throughout the year we allow veterans and current service members to sign those barrels.
Alright, so you saw the video about the red, white, and blue bourbon from Jeptha Creek that was in the barrel. Well, it was recently released on Veterans Day 2022, and they sent us a couple samples to try. Alright, so yeah, we're about to nose and try some of this red, white, and blue bourbon from Jeptha Creek. Thank you again for the sample.
Alright, so what notes are you getting?
I get a little bit of sweetness. I get very similar to like the Bloody Butcher's corn. If you're ever there to do a private tasting or straight from the barrel, I get very similar notes on the nose.
I'm getting like a kind of like a caramel flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
To me, it has a little bit of oak. They definitely taste the caramel. Slight spice to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's enjoyable though. You definitely tell there's growth in what they've been producing and releasing.
Yeah, I would say this is probably one of the best symbols that we've gotten.
Yeah. So, thanks again for the sample. Hopefully you enjoyed the video of our time at Jeptha Creek. Cheers.
Cheers.